We made one really serious mistake with this structure in that we were told these were not arsenic treated. I'll just explain the principles of what we're doing. This is called a no-dig garden bed. We're not digging into the soil, which is pretty much really solid clay and stone. So there's a lot of nutrition in that soil which we'll unlock over the coming years. We put a barrier layer down on the ground to block out the light. That's all it's blocking out, and that's going to act as a form of compost in its own right. The worms will come up into the cardboard and devour the cardboard. In the meantime, our hope is that most of these grasses have died off in this spot or rotted down. On top of that, we're putting in rows of compost and mulch. It's going to do the job of providing us a walking area. So from this area, you can service your garden beds, and then you plant into that compost, which is really rich and luscious. And each year, instead of digging and turning the garden beds over, we plant directly into that. I did this section here in about an hour. The cardboard was already out, so I've laid out cardboard for more. And this, I think it'll take me about an hour to do these 2 beds, including the mulch in between them as a walking space. We made one really serious mistake with this structure in that we were told these were not arsenic treated. They indeed are. The amount of labour involved in putting them in was insane. 2 days of digging with an auger. The ground was so hard. Once we realised what we were battling against, we'd start the holes, put a bit of water in them and let them soak overnight. Now we've looked up a lot of research on it, and the opinions are like north and south. We can get soil tests done. We can put in also some plastic barriers. That's the negative. The positive is this structure has given us the ability to stretch this fabric over. This netting we bought off a company called Hortico. They're in Monbulk. These holes are just small enough to make it difficult, really difficult for cabbage moths. Rabbits, foxes, kangaroos. That's our big one, because not that they'll stand here eating the vegetables, but they'll jump in and just destroy stuff. And birds. There's a lot of problem with birds. So we just want to give our plants a fighting chance to feed us. We've run fencing wire along here. We'll be able to hang some hoses, more suspension wires, Rio or other climbing trellises. We can also run drip lines. There's a number of costs. We have the poles, the plinths, that's the board across the top, 6 bags of pre-mixed concrete, but not rapid set. The poles and plinths were between $1,200 and $1,500, I think, from memory. I'd have to look at the receipts. The netting and the frost cover, we've got a frost cover sheet as well, and delivery for that. All of that came to $1,000. We had the fencing wire around the bottom over the top. Compost, 65 square metres of that came from BioGrow. There's about $2,000 worth there. So to set up the whole thing, $4,700. Now the other great thing about this enclosure is that it's so easy to work in here. We can get bees in, we can keep moths out. Having a system that I can work to, that means I can get it faster and faster as I go, and more energy economical as well, because I'm not getting any younger. I had a good little system going, and in about an hour and a bit I was done with this bed here. It's ready for us to put those spinach and silver beet in, I think. And that's about it.